Look at me in my eyes. I don't give a about what you want.
This is just so bizarre, man. Like,
Yeah. You're not getting your way on this one, bro. I'm not talking outside
what is
of the
my
show.
way? Okay, that's
Going
fine.
like having extended phone calls with you, going to dinner with you to hash things out. I'm not doing any of that.
The fact that these guys hate each other so much, but they're still doing the show, but they hate each other so much they have to do it remotely. It's so fucking hilarious to me. Oh my God, I was watching this yesterday in the airport.
Stop picking fights. Stop calling Dick's wife
This whole thing is excruciating. Oh my God.
to defend you. No fucking shit, man. Calling my wife
Wait,
at school.
calling her to defend me? What are you
Calling my
talking
wife at all was a big fucking problem for me.
about? Okay, well, let's talk about it.
God, if I would have watched this before going to the airport, I feel like I would have delayed my trip a day. It would be so much fun to play mediator between these two people. I feel like I have a similar ish personality type to Dick, although Dick is more forward than me. I envy that of him. But I feel like I understand the Veto archetype so well because I've engaged with so much of it. And I don't know if Dick can't tell what's going on in Vito's mind. No, Dick has a better understanding of Veto than I think Veto understands of Dick. But it's so crazy watching these two interact. But also, I might, maybe I'm missing something, but this is, oh my God.
Yeah, kill yourself. That's what I have to say about it. It's a big fucking problem for
Why
me.
don't you just talk to me about these problems?
Because you are a retard. You don't ever change anything. You don't listen, and you have, and everything you say is a way to just keep people talking.
True.
Can you give some context? These two guys have a podcast called The Biggest Show in the Universe, or Biggest Problem in the Universe. I think they've been running it for a few years. Dick Masterson used to do a show with Maddox. They had a huge falling out. I've heard both that the falling out was all Maddox's fault because he's a pussy baby. And then I've heard that Dick is actually a psychopath, and there's a documentary that proves it. I've seen both these opinions in my community somewhat equally strongly, so I'm not sure what's the truth there. But these guys have been running the show for about 2 years. I think as of recently, I gathered all this after reading some forums and shit, just over a couple hours at the airport. So I don't know how true any of this is, okay? Or I'm just, I don't know, this might be exaggerated, but supposedly these two guys are starting to not like each other or have not liked each other quite a lot, such that they don't even do the show live anymore, or it's live, but they do it remotely. They don't do it in person anymore. Yeah, that's apparently Dick has gotten so annoyed with Veto that Dick has blocked Veto on everything. So
You don't listen, and you have, and everything you say is a way to just keep people talking to exhaust
man.
them.
I think I try to understand what the problems are, and I try to adjust my behavior to make them better. But let's be clear.
Next time you have any kind of relationship with a man, don't ever fucking call their wife. How about that?
So I think this is in reference here to Veto is trying to get a hold of Dick for some reason, something to do with the show or something. And Dick is not responding on any platform. So Veto apparently called Dick's wife to try to get Dick to answer.
Okay, I don't get it. I assumed that you guys were at home.
This is why you're retarded, because you just don't listen.
Bro.
Oh, I don't get it.
I'm trying to explain to you why I would do it. Do you think I did
No
it
one
to
cares.
hurt-
I don't give a
Do you think I did
why
it to
you would
hurt
do it.
you? Do you think
I don't
did it
give
'cause
a
I'm trying to hurt you?
why you would do it. I don't give a why you would do it. Don't ever do it.
I wanted to know where you were. I would assume the person who lives with you would know where you are.
Veto, you bothering people with
why is it bothering?
novels?
It's a phone call.
Because it's
Okay,
taking
just tell-
time.
One thing that's really interesting to me, I don't know if Veto understands this. I think Dick maybe understands this. I think Dick has a better theory of mind of Veto than Veto does of Dick. People who are compulsive, people who have compulsions, they evaluate their actions and the impact on the other person exclusively through the lens of their own intentions. And it is so unbelievably frustrating to deal with that as somebody who might be on the other end, the receiving side of those compulsive behaviors. So if somebody really wants to contact you, or somebody really wants to say or do something with you or whatever, and you just not feel it, you don't want to, that person, because they in their mind, they have noble intentions, should never, ever, ever be rebuffed by the other person. And then when the other person, is like, no, I don't want to, stop. Then the person who's getting rebuffed feels like their intentions are being rebuffed rather than just the fact that, no, just the action is a thing I'm not interested in. I don't know if that makes sense. But they have this dynamic going on a lot. I don't know if Veto is aware of it or not.
You are not worth the time it takes to engage with you.
Then don't engage with me, but just tell me.
You are blocked on
hey,
everything because you are a fucking time suck. Are you listening to me?
This is the
Your
first
constant
time.
need of validation is a total waste of time.
Okay, this is the first time you have said, Veto, it's too much time. So now that I've heard it, got it. I understand. It's too much time. You got other stuff going on. And I've said to you, hey.
My mom is like this, and it's impossible to communicate with her. Okay, so I want to be clear. I just think personality-wise, I think I'm quite similar to Dick. So I might be siding against Veto here, literally just because of that. Okay, so maybe I'm not going to be the first analysis. But, okay, so just hedging. Okay, so with that being said, the frustrating thing is that when you're talking to somebody who has, like, I'm calling this a compulsive behavior because for some reason they feel they need to contact you, they need to have this conversation, and they can't just say, oh, okay, I guess I can't do that. That answer is unacceptable. They have to do every single thing they can to contact you. So with Veto, this ultimately escalated to calling Dick's wife, okay? The frustrating thing with dealing with somebody who has that type of, if you think I'm talking about you and you're listening to me right now, I'm not talking about you, okay? I promise I'm not talking about you, just in case anybody out there is thinking, but I actually probably am talking about you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Maybe. No, I'm not. The frustrating thing with dealing with a person like this is that Veto is saying right now, actually, no, I'm not talking currently to anybody in my life who's done this. I've cut all these people in my life, okay? Vito's doing this thing where, oh, now I know for the first time that you don't want me to contact you. Right? So people with these types of obsessive behaviors always somehow miss all of the subtext. They miss all of the signs. They miss all of the signals. And they'll pull this out where they'll be like, oh, well, you didn't tell me point blank this particular thing. In my personal experience, that is always a gaslight. Or not a gaslight, but that's always a, I don't know what you would call it. They say that, and what they'll do is they'll push you to the point to where you'll say, okay, I don't want you to contact me. I don't want to talk to you about this. And the next thing is always, why not? It is never an acceptance of what they say. It is always an invitation to debate the border. Whenever people, or boundary, whenever people like this are like, oh, well, you didn't put that boundary up. Just in my personal experience, every time you do put the boundary up, they will always fight over the boundary. It's never accepted. Just in my experience. Maybe that's not for everybody, and maybe that's not necessarily the dynamic between these two. It might be an unfair characterization of Vito's behavior, but
it's too much time. You got other stuff going on. And I've said to you, hey, if there's anything I can do to be less of a burden.
Stop texting me. Stop.
Say that.
I said it so many fucking times. I said, don't text me. Don't ever text me about your retarded internet fights.
That's it. The clips of you and Dick on the kill stream were some of your funniest on the kill stream? Wait, what was this?
Here's something that I could have attacked Nick with earlier. A thing got leaked where he said that like a black person or a black person is like a dog. I didn't bring that up at all.
That's not what I said. I said it wasn't like a dog, but they both be degenerate.
There you go. Whatever that was. Right? I didn't bring that shit up.
That's pretty bad, actually.
This was a funny show. I feel like most of my time here is pretty funny. I feel like I've enjoyed every show I've been on with these guys. Maybe not Ethan Ralph. No, definitely not with Ethan Ralph. But with Dick and with Veto. This show with Ralph, I guess, was okay, though. I don't think I have anything personally against Ralph right now. It's just kind of out there and wacky. But, okay.
Never. Said, don't text me. Don't ever text me about your retarded internet fights. Never. Never.
Anytime I've texted you, I've tried to text you because it's something about the show. Okay? But
the show. See, this is why you're retarded. Because you text me about retarded shit and then say it's the show.
It's retarded.
It's you. No,
it's not to me.
See, now, I don't know if... I think Dick understands this. He might not have the vocabulary for it, because I don't know how many people in his life he has like this. But, like, another thing is where they'll... Oh, my God. I don't know how particular of an archetype of a person this is. I feel like I've dealt with a lot of them, though. But it might just be streaming the draws in. They'll do a thing where we'll put up a boundary. Here, okay, it'll be like this, okay? Let's say I put up a boundary. Let's say that somebody really wants me to play with their dog. They really want me to see their dog. And I'm like, and finally, okay, I've had enough. I don't want to ever see your dog again. I don't want to ever see your dog. Don't show me your dog. I don't want to be near your dog. And they're like, okay, fine. And then they're like, I'm going running tomorrow morning. Do you want to come running with me so that I can discuss my business plans with you so we can have a meeting while we go jogging in the park or whatever? I'm like, okay, fine. Let's do our jog meeting. And then you show up at the park and they got the fucking dog with them. You're like, bro, what the fuck? What did I just tell? I don't want to. And they're like, no. It's not about, I know what the, what? Oh yeah, he's here. Yeah. And it's always some shit like this. It's always some shit like this. Or it'll be like, hey, can you babysit my kid tomorrow? That you wouldn't ask your friend to babysit your kid, probably. I don't know. Can you take a look at my PC? It's having problems. I'm going to ship it to you. And check the graphics card. And they're like, oh, okay. And they ship you their PC. And you open the box and their dog is in the box. You're like, why is your dog here? It's like, I just want you to look at the PC. But my dog usually travels my PC. Why would you sell this to me, right? It's always like, there's always a way to sneak it in. And I think it's intentional. I feel like it's intentional. They're trying to find a way to not self-suit, to suit their compulsion. They're finding a way to appease their compulsive behavior in a way that they think is like clever or that you don't know. But I think when there's like compulsive behavior involved, my guess is I'm in way uncharted psychology territory, by the way. Or when I say uncharted, I haven't charted it. So I could be, this is how I how I understand it. When a person is off in compulsion land, they are lacking almost all self-awareness. They don't understand how insanely annoying their obsessive compulsive behavior is. They lack the awareness of it. One of the most common ways this appears in like romantic contexts is like the guy or the girl that texts the other person like 44 times and all the messages are unread, and it's like, do you think the 45th message is going to be the one that flips the whole situation? What the is wrong with you? Why have you sent this person 45 text messages? Are you okay? Like, it's not even like, are you okay? It's like, do you have no shame? Do you have no self-awareness? Like, my asshole is clenching. If I've sent like 2 or 3 unread texts, it's like by the 4th one, I'm basically hanging myself or removing the person. I'm like, oh, that must have been my twin brother on my account. Sorry. How do you send 30, 40 messages? Like, that's the kind of shit there has to be, when behaviors get that compulsive, there has to be some level of, I don't know, being incapable of perceiving the self, especially the other person. Yeah, I don't know.
And say, it's the show.
It's retarded to you.
No,
it's not retarded to me.
I don't give a what you think is not retarded.
But here's
you
what
are
you're
a
saying.
retard.
Hold on. Here's
you
what
are
you don't
totally
get.
Veto.
You're saying, Veto, this is really important to me. And I'm going, I got it. And even if I don't understand it, I'm going to respect it. And I say to you, this is really important to me. And you go, you're retarded. And I don't respect that at all. And
Sorry.
that's the difference.
No, the difference is you don't matter to me.
Don't matter to you.
At all.
I got it.
At all. You don't matter at all. The things you care about don't matter at all.
I got it. I got it.
Don't ever contact me again.
What?
So, like, Veto is trying to be hyperbolic here, saying, oh, you don't think that this, you don't think I matter at all or whatever. And then Dick is responding hyperbolically. I actually don't think that Dick is characterizing his feelings here. Maybe he says this more specifically earlier on in the video. I don't watch this whole thing. I only watch like the last 40 minutes or 30 minutes of this. But I think that what Dick is trying to say, or what Dick means to say, is I don't care about the things that you're telling me about. Like, I think that if Veto wasn't spamming Dick with messages all the time, if Vito was like, hey, listen, my dad is like super sick in the hospital and like I feel like whatever, and maybe Dick's lost his dad or whatever, I think that maybe he'd be open to having some conversation about that. When Dick is saying he doesn't care at all, though, I think what he's saying is that Veto constantly approaches him with things that he absolutely does not give a fuck about. The thing that I'm picking up here is that Veto apparently picks a lot of fights online and then complains to Dick about it, and Dick really doesn't like that. He gets really annoyed about that.
100%.
Okay.
Destiny, it doesn't make sense for Dick to continue having a show with someone he refuses to communicate with. Actually, it super does make sense. You're completely wrong there. Show still makes about $9K a month. It's about 9,000 reasons there, or at least 4,500 of them to continue doing the show.
Anything that matters to me,
never.
You don't care about.
Not matters to you. You, nothing. Matters to you.
But me,
you, doesn't matter to you.
Who's trying to understand what matters.
A few minutes back, but do you remember the first time you interacted with Dick, he hated you? Maybe, but again, and also I could be wrong, I don't have any deep insight into Dick. If you think that me and Dick talk a ton, we don't, so I don't have any deep insight, but Dick feels like he has a similar personality style to me. I've never hated Dick. Because I don't have, my feelings about him just aren't that strong. And I feel like it's probably similar from him to me. Like, I might say something that he super disagrees with. I know if we were to like fight about politics or whatever, I'd disagree with it. But like, I don't think any of us have ever held, that's why when we had that big PKA episode, and I think people were expecting us to, but we just, it's like random internet shit. I just don't care that much, right? And I think he's probably similar. Like, it feels weird sometimes to be like, I hate this person. It's like, what did they do? They quote tweeted me, and they said, it's like, okay, does it matter that much? I think Dick is one of the few people online when he's like, I really don't give a. I think he doesn't, but I could be wrong.
That matters to me.
Never.
You don't care
not,
about.
Not matters to you. You, nothing. Matters to you.
But me,
you, doesn't matter to you.
Who's
nothing.
trying to understand what matters to you and what's important to you and what you need and what boundaries you need established. And I'm going out of my way to try and
established the
figure
boundaries.
that
You're
out.
blocked on everything. I don't need to work with you to establish boundaries. You're blocked. I feel attacked. I feel attacked in the Discord. Balder, Salt Merchant for 2. First live show I've caught, and this is how it ends. J Bro Dak for 5. Super Killer became part of the show. Yeah, I know. Veto.
Oh, that's another issue. Super Killer is Vito's January 6th documentary. Oof. Oh boy.
It's not part of the show.
It is obviously part of the show. Nobody would have supported you to this level.
You decided to make it a huge part of the show, and I don't think you can get upset later when it's a part of the show.
Hey, guess what? I can get upset whenever I want.
So, I've said this before, there are some things, if you want to go hard on somebody, that you're safe to do so while appearing to go hard on them, but they have to be things that the person doesn't care about that much. When you start to hit on things that are really important to a person, oof, that gets really, really, really scary. And Star Killer is, wait, no, I keep saying Star Killer, it's not. Star Killer? Star Citizen? Super Killer? Super Killer. I think Veto is trying to launch a comic book. I think we talked about this last time I was on the show. I assume that there were a few issues out, but apparently it hasn't launched yet. The first one hasn't launched yet, and apparently now he's saying it's going to be like in black and white or so. I don't know what's going on with it, but obviously this project has been delayed for over a year, and I think Vito's understandably kind of sensitive about it. Oh, somebody said for 4 years now. Okay, I don't know.
You can get upset later when it's a part of the show.
Hey, guess what? I can get upset whenever I want.
Nuts.
That's where the money comes from, Veto. That's where the fucking money comes from.
Where does the
I get
money
upset
come from?
about
Being
whatever
upset?
the fuck I want.
And
all right?
I'm not telling you not to be upset about it, but I'm saying if it's actually making you upset, don't actually be upset.
What do you mean don't actually be upset?
Are you doing
treated
it
people
'cause
who backed you like shit.
How?
You are, because you're a fucking asshole to them. Anytime
In
somebody
what way?
asks about their comic that they paid for, you're a sucker to them.
No, I'm not. If you said...
Yes, you are. You 100%
no,
are an
I'm
asshole.
Not. If you go, hey, man...
The problem I see with this interaction is that Dick keeps coming back and interacting with Veto. Well, it seems like they only interact insofar as they do the show. The strongest argument should be maybe they should cancel the show. But my guess is going to be, I don't have to guess. Oh my God, actually, I can mind read both of these guys so well. Dick will do the show indefinitely because at the end of the day, when Dick is done with the show, I don't think Dick gives a fuck about any of this. He's not incurring like psychological damage here. Whereas for Veto might be. Now you could argue that if Dick was like more responsible with Veto's mental health, that Dick should pull the plug. But the onus is probably on Veto to pull the plug. I think that's another reason why Dick gets mad when Veto complains about fights. There's a big difference between is a person genuinely upset about a thing versus is the person just fucking around. Like if somebody like is messaging with like, oh my God, look at this on Twitter. Like that's one thing. But if somebody's messaging you like, oh, this guy on Twitter, man, can you jump in and quote tweet him and can you help me? I need you to reply to this guy. Oh my God, especially if they're your patrons and you're starting to lose money on the show as a result of it, it can get really awkward, you know?
How's the status of the comic going? I always respond. I go,
Wrong,
well, here's where we're at.
lies.
Here's what we're doing.
Absolute lies.
If you go, hey fat boy, where's my fucking comic? I might go, fuck you.
Obviously, these are obvious lies. This is like, this is the way you lie. This is the way you lie. It's like, oh, I can't even believe you'd say that. Yeah,
who asked?
Do you unironically think you could mediate this in a constructive way? I mean, if you can't, you should apply to become a therapist, reach the Jordan Peterson level. So I think I could mediate this in an incredibly effective way and that both sides would understand each other for the 1 hour that I'm talking to them. And then afterwards, it would go back to the exact same thing. I think that's the issue.
You lie. It's like, oh, I can't even believe you'd say that. Yeah.
Who asked in a nice, genuine way, hey, Veto, I'm a fan of the comic. When's it coming out? You know, I want and I said, oh, you know, when has that ever happened?
Tons of people.
Dude, you're
Cody
inventing.
for
That's
2,
totally
the fall
invented.
of Rome.
You do this all
Antagonist
the
Vision
time.
for 10.
Shut
Veto,
up.
you
No,
blocked me
don't
for a
fucking
joke
gish
about
gallop me.
Easter.
You
By making sure you
invent
didn't think it was
fucking
Easter.
scenarios.
The fact that these guys hate each other so much, but they're still doing the show, but they hate each other so much they have to do it remotely, is so fucking hilarious to me. How does someone like Dick genuinely interact with Veto without it just going insane? One problem that I have, that I've had, I don't know if I solved this. think my solution was just to stop dating, just to never date. That's the solution to all of my problems. Just kidding. There's a dynamic that is hard to explain to where one person. So like I'll say that I have like a dismissive avoidant personality type, and then sometimes for whatever reason I get paired either romantically or interpersonally with people that have I don't even know if this fits like the child whatever bullshit. What is it, the insecure attachment style or whatever? And I think one of the ways this manifests is if I'm upset about anything, the way that I tend to resolve it best, like if I can choose my own universe of resolution where I can control everybody else's actions, then usually I just need to be left alone for a few hours. And then afterwards, I'm chill. I have a conversation about whatever. But that's it. But I have to be left alone for a few hours because I'm upset, okay? My actions are not going to be as tip logical as they should be, okay? I'll say mean things. I'll be a mean person. So I don't know if Dig is like that, but that's how I'm like. Other people, when they get upset, they absolutely need to resolve that upsettedness right the now. They cannot wait. They can't wait for that to fester. So you end up in this weird world where one person just needs time and they'll be chill, and then the other person needs to resolve it now or they'll lose their mind. And in my personal life, I've never been able to resolve that conflict ever. If I give in to the other person, that fight is always going to be explosive because I'm going to say the meanest things I can think of because I'm just, and it's just because of the nature of my relationships. Like every issue is like my fault anyway. So usually it'll be, I did something the other person didn't like. They're mad at me. I'm probably mad at them. And then I have to somehow, while being the person who did the wrong thing, I have to take care of my emotional dysregulation, and I have to take care of their emotional dysregulation, and I have to help us both navigate whatever the fight. I can't. That's never happening. Like I tell my partner straight up, like, this will never happen. I'll never do this. If you want to fight right now, we can do it. But I'm gonna say the meanest that I can think of. Okay, just to let you know. All right, if you're cool with that, then let's go. Okay. But the flip side is if I chill for 6 hours or 12 hours or whatever, and then I'm fine later on, when I go to revisit the fight or whatever, no matter what I say or do at that point, the other person is like mentally destroyed because now they've been agonizing on it for half a day. I haven't been able to meet somebody who resolves problems instantly, who is able to just put it off and give time to their partner. I don't know if like that personality styles that can't do that. I don't know why or how. I just don't know. In my mind, I don't know if there's any way to ever make those two different types of personality styles work. I don't know. How do you figure out if you're a dismissive avoidant? I don't know if I actually am. I use the words I've read them on the attachment style bullshit. But just one thing I notice is that if I'm upset, I don't know how normal this is. I'd be careful. Don't read into my psychology because I might have just be very off the norm. Like I respond very well, I think, to like for motivation. I respond well to abuse, like the whiplash guy. Like that kind of like motivates me. People being like nice or encouraging is usually just very irritating to me. And then similarly with fights, if I'm upset about anything and somebody's trying to like comfort me or console me, it feels incredibly patronizing and condescending. I usually just want to be left alone. Like that will irritate me 100 million times more, no matter what I'm upset about. I don't know why. I don't know if it's some maladaptive thing, but if I'm trying to think, the funny thing is like most of this in my life, it revolves around like League, where I can think of like, if I'm super pissed off and somebody's like, I feel like I remember like Melina at times, she's like, oh, hey, are you okay? Maybe we should just go get something to eat. And I'm like, we need to just go get something to eat. Well, do you think that undoes everything? Like I'm usually going to go get ice cream cone to make me feel better. Why not? Maybe you should hang yourself. Why the fuck would you even suggest that? Like I'm a 4-year-old. You want to go and get me a candy bar from, like, I get so fucking irritated. If I'm already upset about something, just leave me the fuck alone and I'll get over it. And then like 6 hours. And then after a few hours, I'll be like, oh, dude, I was like mental. Okay. Listen, I was crazy. I just needed some time. I've returned back to this realm, and now I'm chill. Okay. I don't know how to. Yeah. I don't know why. That's just how my mind works. But the flip side of that, of somebody who's like, I need to resolve this problem right now, or I'm going to hate myself for the next 12 hours. Like, all right, I'll just make you hate yourself for 2 hours, and let's go. And maybe say, I'll make you hate yourself for the rest of the relationship. Let's do it.
And you refuse to post more.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to resolve those disagreement resolution styles. I don't know how. I feel like at this point in my life, if I was to do like an ultra serious thing, I think I would look for somebody that resolves things in the in the exact same way. But I also don't know. Oh, the reason why I started this is because I don't know if there's like a right or wrong way to do it. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do it, because I think that depending on how you present them, this is an issue with our therapist. Depending on how you present it, either side can look incredibly mature. And then it depends on if people are aware of the different resolution styles or not. So for instance, like if I'm talking to somebody, if I was trying to be disingenuous and I'm just trying to present my styles, I would say like the way that I like to approach things is when we get into a fight, I recognize that both of us are emotionally dysregulated and we should just both separate and take 12 hours to talk through our problems afterwards so that we're not heated. And that's like the mature way, in my opinion. That's the mature way to present the like dismissive, avoidant, conflict resolution style. And then if I want to make the other person look unhinged, I would say, oh, well, the thing that I hate about my partner is that when we're both upset, they insist that we problem solve right the now. And that's unfair because now it's similar to the thing I said earlier where I'm like, oh, now I have to, account for both of our feelings and it's making the other person feel better and it's at my detriment. It makes me feel worse and the outcomes are always worse. And I wish they could just give me some time to chill, But then on the flip side, if you're more of like the I need to solve the problem now kind of person, right? You can also make that look more mature and the other person look unhinged, right? Oh, well, when I have a problem with my partner, I just want to resolve it immediately. I don't know why we would kick the can down the road on this. I don't like to go to sleep mad at my partner is a thing you hear a lot. And they might say, but if we have a problem right now and we're both upset at each other, if we wait for 12 hours and then we come back, well, now that the problem is gone, we might not want to talk about it, or they might not want to talk about it. Now you think because we're not mad at each other, now there is no problem. So actually now everything is fine, and now we're just going to have the same fight, in 2 weeks, and nothing actually got solved because now that everybody's like emotionally regulated again, nobody wants to bring any issues. Well, now everything's right. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to deal with it. I think you just need. I feel you just need two people with the same problem dispute resolution mechanisms in play. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know if there's a way to. Destiny, a therapist wouldn't see that as mature though. It super depends. It super depends. Everybody can be sometimes,
Easter. By making sure you didn't think it was Easter, and you refused to post more pictures of your cats when I paid hard-earned money for you, bro. Jacob Wagner
wants to know
5.
where
The
the
comic is
comic's
the show.
at.
It's not
Talk
even a
to
comic.
me.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about the comic. It was about supporting
they don't give a shit
you.
about Okay, then don't.
I mean, that's
support
good
me.
news because the
That's
comic
fine.
sucks. Like the jokes aren't
got
funny.
it.
Oh,
It's
man,
dated.
Jokes aren't
And
funny.
the
It's
story's
dated.
like pieced together.
The story's
it's
terrible.
It's total dog. A Carl
got
for
it.
5 just released the comic. Drink a monster before the show. Mute Twitter tards and be funny. You're hilarious when you want to be, Veto. Yeah, that's true.
Thanks.
Bruce.
You can make it work, but it's serious, committed work from both. I'm the solve it now, and my wife is the avoidant. I had to work on trust. She had to work on verbalizing her feelings more. It's probably possible to make it work. In my opinion, the biggest issue, sorry, we're getting into hardcore interpersonal dynamics. Also, like I said, I think my personality skews way off the norm. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't think I'm like a totally different person. I think a lot of my personality is maybe more exaggerated from an ordinary person's. But I think one of the big issues too, when you have resolution styles that are very different, or when you're trying to resolve problems that come up a lot in a relationship. So I think this is worse than one of the things you have to be so careful of is if both of you have like a certain way of resolving problems. I don't know why I'm trying to draw this. There's nothing to draw here. If somebody tries to like step outside of the way that they're ordinarily solving problems and they try to do something that's not like what they have an inclination to do, the other side has to be so careful with how they manage the disagreement at that point. If one side is like stepping out of the conversation, because if you f that interaction up, I think you've mind raped that relationship is like forever. I think that it'll never be, because if a person steps outside of their boundary to problem solve in a way they don't normally do it and they get like negative feedback on it, I think it's like that is never happening again. But I also might just be extrapolating and exaggerating from my own experiences. So I don't know. I'm just a fun streamer to watch. Okay, that's it. Otherwise, just kidding.
Just for 5. I'm Veto. I'm fat and gay. Jewish, and I love Israel. And I think that Sydney Sweeney is a neo-Nazi. Also, I'm gay, and I'm Veto. Spider Eternal for 5. Veto, stop acting like a child. Are you so clueless that you can't see the crushing level of stress you put on Richard and anyone that works with you?
I just don't get it.
Dragon for 2. Yeah, you keep.
It's just so funny to me because like both of these styles of communication and personality are just so incapable of seeing each other. And I feel like, well, I've poisoned the well on this, so I can't pull on it. But I feel like there's a group of people who could watch Veto and feel like Veto is totally A-okay with everything he's saying, and that Dick is just going like, he's just being such a piece of shit He's showing no sympathy whatsoever for his co-host, who's supposed to be his friend, that Veto can't even express a problem to Dick without Dick blowing up. And then there's another group of people who look at Dick and they're like, I can't believe that Veto is so overbearing that he can't calm the fuck down, that he's constantly like trying to settle Dick with a whole bunch of crazy emotional baggage that Dick is unwilling or unable to carry for Veto. Like, it's just such a different style of everything for both of these people.
Keep saying I don't get it like it's a permission slip to act like an asshole, but it's not.
Just talk to me and
Talking to you is a waste of time. You're a brick wall, bro. The only
I'm
reason
not
to
a
talk
brick
to you is to
wall.
turn it into content. There's no reason to talk to you outside of the show. Do you not get that?
So what's the show?
This. Bring in problems, have high energy, stop arguing on Twitter. That's it.
This is just so bizarre, man. Like,
Yeah. You're not getting your way on this one, bro. I'm not talking outside
What
of
is
the
my
show.
way? Okay, that's
Going
fine.
like
You don't
having
have to talk
extended
to me.
phone calls with you, going to dinner with you to hash things out. I'm not doing any of that.
Is he implying, did they already do that? Have extended phone calls or go to dinner? Or is he just saying Veto suggested it or wants to do it and he hasn't done it? I'm curious. Have they actually done that? Does anybody know that watches these two?
Kristen Dorff
Why?
for 2. I paid for this
Okay,
super,
why-
because it is a waste
We have-
of fucking time. I paid for the
It's not
super
a
chat.
waste of
Read it,
time.
Veto.
Shut up.
Cam
Listen
Wild
to me
2.
for 2
we
seconds.
like Veto. David Davidson for 20. Veto is
Bro,
twice
I
the
think
size
you're
of Maddox
being
and has stuck
fucking
around for twice as many
nuts.
episodes. Get your PPP. Get PPP as your next co-host. And Biggest
We
Problem
have-
3.0 might reach 300.
Wait, shut the fuck up for 2
Gain
seconds.
eggers. Pigeon South
We
for 5.
have
Typical
a
a-hole. Asks for a solution and then disregards everything you say. Yeah, exactly. It's infuriating. Just like the talking is all they want to do. They want to wear you down until you accept their solution, which is always deal with them more. Cameron for 2. Pig and Mud. Oink. Pig and Mud. Piggy and Mud. Cameron for 5. Just remember, Veto, you're on the show because he couldn't get Boogie.
Boogie would not be nearly as good as I am, and I think we all know that. Because somebody's got to bring the comedy,
That's it.
not just the sad, pathetic anger. Dick, look, I don't understand because we got a great show. We should be very happy about what a great show we have.
Right.
Are you? I don't get it, man. This should be a positive experience for both of us, and it seems like it's not. Like dealing with me is too much of a headache.
Well, not
I will say, with 60% conviction, I feel like Dick is expressing himself very clearly in terms of what's annoying him. And it feels like Veto is really trying to, I need a softer version of emotionally manipulate, where Veto is unwilling or unable to confront this criticism head on, either because he feels like he can't, or he just disagrees with it so much that he is unable to. And so he just kind of like is circling with this like, well, we should be able to be friends and we should be able to do this. And he's not really addressing anything Nick is saying, not Nick, that Dick is saying. It's a feeling I have for this, but
anymore.
It's not. Like dealing with me is too much of a headache.
Well, not anymore. I blocked you. It's not, the headache is gone.
Okay.
I don't have to deal with your online fights anymore. It's perfect.
So that's the problem is my online fights.
Well, the problem is
I want to get it crystal clear. I waste your time. Yes.
yeah, I don't want to hear about your online fights. I don't ever want to hear about them.
Okay.
I also don't. Oh, dude, I don't know if I'm okay. I'll stop hedging. Okay, I feel like I can identify all these modes. Okay, so well, I should be able to name these. I feel like I dealt with so many toxic people. Okay, that I should be able to name these. I'm toxic in some ways too. Okay, I'm not trying to call out any particular person here. Okay, but there should be the stages for this. So you're arguing with a person. Oh, the dog example I gave earlier, okay? They show me their PC and their dog is inside the PC, okay? And he comes out, wagging his tail, poops on my phone. I'm like, why the f*** did you send your dog? It's like, oh, no, it's about repairing my PC, right? When you finally get these people cornered, you finally be like, okay, what? Let's talk about it then. What is it that you don't want? And you're like, okay, I don't want to see your dog ever. Do you remember what we said before when we were talking about like maxims of conversation? That when you talk to people, there's like all these associated concepts that light up. When we say words, we're not like a computer where syntax is activated and then this whole like table or database, like it's all of everything is association and we're constantly relying on each other for good faith. I feel like when you get to this stage of negotiating with somebody who has like this kind of compulsive behaviors, they drop one of these maxims of good faith. And what they'll start to do is do things like, okay, let's talk about exactly what it is that you don't want. And they are about to become the most bad faith, hyper pedantic, every single detailed person in the fucking universe, so that in the future they can use it against you. So it'll be like, okay, you don't want to see my dog ever. So what if I come to visit you and I have a hair of my dog on my jacket? Does that mean we can't hang out? It's like, no. What if on my phone, I want to show you something and there's a screensaver and my dog's in the background? You don't want to see that? No. Okay. So it's not that you don't want to see my dog. Okay. Is it that you like, and it'll be this thing where it's like, you know, conceptually, you know what the person's getting at, but you get into this hyper pedantic, like bargaining stage where you're trying to like get these exact precise set of rules just so that you could break them later. And it's like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about your online fights. I don't ever want to hear about them.
Okay, I got it. You don't want to hear about my online fights, and you don't want me to waste your time.
No, online fights.
And that's the one thing?
Like, that's a trigger when that's it? That's the one thing? It's like, are we in court? Like, are we ironing out like some kind of contract? Is that the one thing? Are you asking me to redline this and send it back to you with more clarity? Hello?
Well, yes, because it leads to... No, it's just online fights. It's online fights that you constantly make me deal with, and I don't want to deal with them. It's a waste of time.
Okay. Again, sure.
What do you mean, sure? It's a very... what I'm explaining to you is a very, very simple. You pick fights with people, you get blown out and lose, and then you cry to me and want me to ban fans from the show because you lost an argument with them. That's what you do every couple of months.
Okay, I don't want you to ban. What does banning fans from the show mean?
Then this, oh my God, dude, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting flashbacks and triggered. I'm getting so triggered. There has to be a name for this behavior. There has to be a name for this behavior. Okay, when you say ban fans from the show, what do you mean by ban them? What do you mean ban them from the show? What do you mean by fans? Which ones are you talking about? This triggers me so much.
What do you mean? That I don't want to talk about a guy who's coming to my house?
And then I'm so curious. I don't know how much I don't know how much Dick is aware of all of these things. I feel like I need to create a walkthrough for this. It's not that because now he's going to say things that he knows. No, there must be an awareness. So Veto must have an awareness. The other person must have an awareness because they end up picking the exact correct things to shatter the boundary or to. You're trying to get the other person to iron out a boundary. And then once they do, you do everything you can to demonstrate the absurdity of that boundary. It's the dog example, right? I don't ever want to see your dog again. Oh, really? Not even, no part of my dog. No part of your dog. So if I show up at your house then with dog hair on my shirt, I'm not allowed to go inside? And it's like, no, that's not at all what the fuck I meant. And then, yeah, you're in this world, yeah.
What do you mean? That I don't want to talk about a guy who's coming to my house? Because I think that's a fucking pathetic waste of my time, and I don't want to give. I don't give promotion to people who go, "Oh, what if I show up to Vito's house and fuck with him?" I don't
Why'd
go,
you wear
"Oh,
a
let's
bluey
give
shirt
him showtime."
Why'd you wear a bluey shirt then?
You know what? I had it on at the time, and I said, if I'm gonna be on camera, because I can't stop this guy from filming, I might as well wear something funny.
Okay, so you did make content with him.
I guess so. And you know what?
Yes.
You don't always think everything through.
Yeah, you do.
You think I thought that through, like really long and hard, and I said, oh, well, maybe I'm
Not long
feeding
and hard.
into it.
I think you thought it through.
I think I said, if I'm going to be on camera and there's nothing I can do about it, even if I don't want to be on camera, I don't know, put on a funny shirt.
Yeah, so you're making comedy with the guy.
I mean, do you think Boogie goes, man, maybe I should have worn something different instead of that Tomb Raider shirt? The whole point is, you're going to be on camera. How do you want to come off? And I said,
well, you're not on camera if you're inside your house, are you?
Okay, so maybe in the future I won't come outside. I decided to come outside.
Yeah, because you're making comedy content with Schizo Sean.
I don't want to make. I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're making comedy content with these are your comedy. These are your comedy partners that you're making comedy content with.
Well, I don't
want to hear about it.
I'm ending all comedy partnerships.
Yeah, you've said that. You've said that before, but you're always arguing with them in Discord. Blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Hold on. I have completely blocked all these people on Discord. I'm not interacting with them at all.
Right. How many times have you done that? or said you've done it and then not done
This
it?
is the first.
I think your whole diagnosis is actually just one person who likes the other, and the other simply doesn't like the first person, but they are together, and you're describing how it plays out from one side. Absolutely not. This is a collection of behaviors that certain personality types exhibit. It is not just a one-sided like. If anything, I would push back on that, and I would say Dick probably generally likes Veto. Well, maybe not at this point, but I think they did. It's not like Veto is an unlikable person. It's not like Veto and Dick started a show when they hated each other from the very beginning, right? There's a particular set of behaviors that have been deployed by Veto that have made Dick not like him get to this point. Oh, actually, you might be that kind of person if you're saying that. Never mind. Oh, no. This is the experience of, you might not be. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I've said this before that, like, if people are asking me for advice, like, personally, not like a chatter, but like if a friend is like, hey, I think, something's going wrong or what's going on in this. Can you give me advice on this? I always tell somebody, I'm not saying shit unless you show me some text messages. I need to see the way you guys communicate because I'm not going to rely on your interpretation of things. If you wanted that, I might as well just suck you off for an hour, right? Why the fuck would I? If you tell me everything from your perspective, then obviously I'm going to agree with everything you say. Yeah, and there are definitely people who have a way of communicating, and it's like, I don't know if you can't tell that this is hella toxic. And if I was on the other side of this advising the other person, I would tell them to run for the fucking hills. And yeah, you got to figure this out. But most people, I don't know. I don't know why people can't perceive it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Destiny, you just admitted that Dick doesn't like him. Yeah, but they liked each other, and then Vito's behavior caused Dick to not like him. It's not like he just doesn't like him out of nowhere.
Time I've done it.
Okay.
Look at that smile. Look, if all you want is to not have to hear about.
You sound a little unhinged to me on some of this. Dick comes off like a not understanding and cold and frustrated. Veto comes off like a whiny but frustrated and not able to understand what the fuck is going on. You even think Dick knows what's going on and Vito's well less aware. Yeah, I don't know. For people like you, you either do this manipulation style or you enable this manipulation style. But the people who view somebody like Veto in this situation just being somebody who's like crying and whining and doesn't know what's going on, you are absolutely being taken for a ride. I don't know how else to say it. I know what it looks like when somebody is just like confused and upset and like crying. And this behavior is not it. This is just, the navigation is just so much more intentional than that. Yeah, I don't know how to, it's just so much more intentional. Yeah, that's all I can say. I don't know, maybe you either see it or you don't, I guess.
Whatever, okay.
Yeah.
I can do
done.
it.
It's done. It's already done. What are you talking about? I can do it. You're forced to do it because you're blocked. You don't have a choice.
I feel like we got a great show. And I feel like we'd have a better show.
Show up with more energy. Show up with more energy. Stop being such a fucking sad sack every show. Pick it up. More energy. Make stingers.
If you were moderating this, what would you want Vito to say? What does Dick need to hear to resolve it? In my personal opinion, if two people have an issue, I feel like the most important thing is both people need to be able to explain what the other person's problem is in a way that the other person agrees with it. If you can't do that, then you have to go. Then you start there. And until that happens, it is a total waste of time to even pretend to be able to move on from that point. If both sides cannot accurately explain what the other person's problem is in a way that doesn't make the other side sound crazy, and you've lost the plot.
Make stingers.
Not even. I'm sorry. You haven't even started with the plot. You've lost. You haven't even hit ground zero yet.
Being such a sad sack every show. Pick it up. More energy. Make stingers. Make stingers. More energy. Get your fucking comic out. That's it. All this therapist. Go talk to a woman or a guy who puts a dress on. Go talk to them about it. I don't fucking care.
I need to know what's going on with the show. I don't understand doing an extremely popular podcast where the two guys don't talk or coordinate at all. I don't think it's making the show better.
Who cares?
I feel like. Well,
sorry. I don't care. I don't care.
Right. So this is what I don't understand. You go, why would you do a horrible thing to paying fans? And I go, well, wouldn't the best thing to do to paying fans to do the best possible show we can do?
Oh, I mean, that's just like a question. Like, I didn't say that. I said stop picking fights with fans who pay you money. I didn't say whatever you just said. That's garbage.
Okay, and I shouldn't pick fights with fans for what reason?
Because they blow you out and then you cry about it for a week. Because you always get blown out by fans.
Blow me out. Wait, what are you? What was I blown out by? What
Every
are you talking about?
fan you argue with, you get blown out by, Veto.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You guys live in
You
this
get in a fight. You get in fights with Riley, and then you're like, I'm gonna rip mint. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a blowout, bro. That's a big time blowout.
Well, I don't get that at all. Okay, maybe from you guys' perspective, I don't get it.
No, I know.
It's a huge blowout. I'm completely destroyed. I would like to do a great show, and I
Right,
would
then
like
have some energy. Show up with some energy. Get your comic out. That's it. No problem.
the comics coming out.
Yeah, show up with some energy then. Energy, big time, right at the front. Stop being such a sad sack that needs to be dragged in every episode. Show up with energy.
I don't think that's been the case. I think I've had good energy.
So what's the point of talking to you then? Like, I mean, you're doing everything perfectly. What's the fucking point of talking to you?
Like, Dick is, I think, just wearing his feelings on his sleeve for this. I mean, like, he could be, I'm coming down a lot on Veto here. I mean, I guess, could Dick be doing better? Maybe he could be doing better. God, I just see it's so many manipulator tactics on Veto's side. It's hard to see anything. I think that this is the number one, this is the number one red flag, I think, in my opinion. Is this biased from my? I think that at some point, especially if you have a friend or a relationship partner or family member, and you're constantly having, like, you know, interpersonal struggles, fights, or whatever, I feel like it's good to say, hey, can we just have a friend sit in on this discussion? And if there's one side that always pushes back on that, I think that could be a red flag. You have to be careful, and you have to make sure that the person who's willing to sit in is like a good objective, as objective as one can be, a passive observer of the truth.
Then, like, I mean, you're doing everything perfectly. What's the point of talking to you?
Because there's things I would like from you.
I don't give a fuck about those. Look at me in my eyes. I don't give a fuck about what you want. Repeat it. Repeat it after me. I don't give a fuck about what you want.
So we had like a really great show. We had a really great dynamic. It was two guys against the world.
I'm so confused. Help chatter out. How would settling things with a friend ever solve anything? Having a third party is there just because it can help you, because they're going to be more neutral than either of you will be. When, especially on relationship or interpersonal fights, like, there's a lot of ego on the line for these. Like, this is arguably some of the most important relationships in your life, and sometimes you can be blinded to ways in which you're making mistakes, and having a third party there can also, on an emotional level, it can give you an outlet that allows you to save your ego a little bit, because you are making concessions to a third party, not necessarily the person you're having a huge disagreement with. It also can give you a smoother off ramp, and that person might be capable of like rewording or phrasing things or giving some level of understanding to the other party. It's just, I feel like having a third party present, I feel like that's one of the main advantages of having a therapist, is just having a third party there to serve as some kind of like neutral arbiter for fights or disagreements. Yeah, no, like, I brought that up earlier. I don't know if you're at that part of the VOD yet. You said I'm super behind. As someone who's admittedly one of those people who prefer to solve issues as they come, the issue that I typically have is that the avoidant people who need to think things over and calm down usually never want to revisit the issue. Days would go by, and eventually I have to be the one to bring it up again. That's the thing that can happen for sure. And actually, the thing is that even the person with the problem who needs to resolve things immediately, even they can get a little bit mindful, because they might not care as much about the problem in a few days. And then the dismissive person, that's like a win-win, because now they avoided confronting it initially, and then now when everybody's feelings have calmed down, now the other person the other person can get gaslit into never bringing the problem up again. Because then the dismissive person, avoidant person, can go, hey, actually, you're getting really mad at me, and now I'm really mad, so I'm going to need another 12 hours to calm down. So why don't we circle back on this in 3 days? And then, and then when they bring it up in 3 days, like, oh, well, now you're kind of making me mad again, so maybe we should, let's revisit this in a month, and we can kind of like schedule it. I think you have to have the same problem resolution. I don't know if this is solvable. I think you just have to have the same conflict resolution style. I think that if it's too different on both sides, I don't think it works. I think you're going to be doomed to perpetually lock blades and toxic interpersonal struggle. That's it. You've never done this before, right? I've done all of these things. I can call out all this because I've done all of this. I was so toxic in my early 20s. Like what Veto just did here with the whole like, oh, you think I lose fights online? I would never, ever cheat. I think I have it almost all my relationships, right? But it's like, let's say your partner clocks you standing on business. And by standing on business, they mean burying your dick in Emily's puss, okay? And let's say that you fucked around on, you cheated on your partner 6 times last week. You met this, you fucked her 6 times in the kitchen at work, or in the office or in the wherever your place of infidelity is. And then let's say your partner does this to you and they're like, you fucking, I know you this every day last week. You, I hate you. And you're like, gaslight mode activated. Actually, on Thursday, how can you even say that? On Thursday, didn't we hang out for the entire day? There's no, I didn't even see her on Thursday. Actually, if we go and check, and then when you found, and it's actually, I guess it's funny because there's a lot of crossover to actual like debate, like political debate. It's like, let's go look up our whole calendars on Thursday. We were together the entire time. You admit that you lied. You did lie when you said it, right? You totally made an accusation. It's impossible, right? And then you can do this thing where like, if they're wrong on a particular fact, you can dismiss the entire thing. This is gaslighting 101, baby. But Veto just did this in a way, when Dick brought up, you get blown the fuck out on fights, blah, blah, blah. And then Veto wanted to bring up like a particular one or something, or they wanted to do a particular thing. The goal is if you can win on the particular, you can dismiss the general accusation, and then you move on from there. It's funny that Destiny has to ponder whether Dick has made any mistake here at all. Well, my mistakes that I'm going to say Dick are making are going to be that he should have advocated for a third party to come in and have the conversation or something. That he should have, there needed to be a moderator for this. Not like a moderator, like a debate moderator, but like a neutral third party to come in and like give guidance to both. Because it feels like Dick is establishing like pretty clear boundaries here. And Veto is the one who is trying to sneak around them as much as possible. But it might just be the nature of the confrontation here. It might be that in 4 days, maybe Veto has a question about scheduling for the show, and then Dick is just avoiding answering any of those questions because he's just like accusing him of being dramatic. Then I would say, well, here Dick needs to be more direct about what type of behavior he wants to avoid and what type of behavior he doesn't want to avoid, because now it seems like he is just avoiding everything that Veto's saying, right? So there could be other interactions where, but I saw one picture though where Dick and Veto were exchanging emails, and Veto mentioned something about, I need to drop a check off to you. And then I think Dick's reply was like, you can mail it. So yeah. Have you ever found yourself in Veto's position in your earlier years, maybe? No, it's just not my personality type. I'm not saying one is better or worse. It's just not my personality type. Generally, I disengage. We suffer in silence, okay? That's the masculine part. No, I don't know. I don't generally, yeah.
And now it's Dick hates Veto, and Veto doesn't get what's going on. And to me, it feels like a miserable show. I don't get it.
Well, you became Eric July, bro. Like, what do you want? What do you want me to say?
So how did I become Eric July?
You have very thin skin.
I have very thin skin.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think the defining quality of Eric July is his thin skin.
Okay, well, what do you think it is?
Ineptitude, incompetence, inability to make anything.
So you just don't believe Veto at all when he's expressing confusion? No. I don't know how to make, this is just, you either see it or you don't. I don't know how to make you see this, but there is a way to where certain people, you know what? Wait, oh my God. Hold on. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find this. There's no world. I don't even know why this memory is in my brain. Oh my God. Okay, this guy is called Trigun. His name is Trigun, just like Spike's name is Cowboy Bat. No, okay. So this guy presents himself as a goofy old little cutie dude, and it's the anime trope is like, oh, they're so innocent or whatever, but he's a secret crazy murderer guy. Okay, this was every single anime in the '90s. Every shonen anime was like this. Okay, hold on, is this the clip?
Well, very brave.
Wait, oh my dubs, yes. No, wait.
Just no.
Okay, never mind. I thought somebody made a comment here, or I guess maybe it's showing you like, oh, he looks so goofy or whatever. He's just a little goofball, but he's like, oh, he's perfectly dodging every single bullet. This is what people like this are like, where somebody's like, oh, I think this person's just confused or having issues. And it's like, no, I know what somebody who's confused or having issues looks like. This person is perfectly navigating the conversation in exactly the way that they need to elicit the exact type of emotional response from the other person. This is not what's happening here. A person who's like sad or angry or confused, might be saying things like, I just don't understand, like, what is it that, what is the behavior? Like, what don't you like? Like, what am I doing that is pissing you off so much? Like, or what's going on, bro, or whatever. And he's like, oh, I just don't like when you treat people. It's like, okay, what do you mean? Like, why does this, like there'd be some effort to figure out, like, on the other person's behalf, like what am I doing that's pissing you off so much? Like, why? Like, what can I change? But when you get into this thing, it's like, what am I doing that's pissing you off so much? Like, it's all these Twitter fights. It's like, which Twitter fight? Like, well, that one where you got blown the fuck out in exactly what particular way? Tell me exactly what I could. It's just this way of navigating a fight that is so intentional and just manages to so perfectly move in exactly the way that you need to undermine the other person's statements and then elicit the response that you basically have to get. It's not random to me. It's not. I don't know how to say it. It's just not random. It's very intentional. Well, maybe intentional is the wrong word. Because I don't know how much the other person is aware of it, but the behavior is designed to elicit a very particular type of response.
Value.
So how's your comic going? And why isn't it out? Why isn't it out?
Because I've been perfect.
Actually, here's a different type of example I can give. I have a friend who sometimes she just like feels weird or off. And I know when she's feeling weird or off because she deactivates her Instagram account. And she just like disappears from everybody, right? And there's a person like I can tell when I'm chatting with her where I'm like, oh, like what have you been up to lately? And she's like, oh, nothing, just hanging out or whatever, talking to blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, how have you hung out with any friends recently or whatever? And like, oh, I'm just kind of like studying or doing whatever. And I can tell it's like this person is like it's something I have to kind of like try to perceive. It's like, okay, this person is not feeling good right now. They haven't hung out with anybody in a long time. Their responses are very cold in such a way that it seems like they're probably sad or upset, but they feel like they don't want to share because they don't want to like overburden the other. Like I can tell that like this is a person that's like disconnecting, and they're navigating in a way where it seems like that is the feeling. And when this person gets sad or upset or whatever, they try to disappear from people to do their own. But then I've also seen people who I've talked about this style of communication before. I call these the bids for attention or bids for reassurance, where when they speak, every single thing they say is designed to eliminate your ability to navigate the conversation in any way beyond what is optimal for them. So for instance, hey, what are you guys doing on Friday? Oh, John and I, we're going to go on a duo horse riding adventure. I don't know. They only had 2 horses available. And the other person looking at that, instead of responding like, oh, okay, oh, darn, well, I wanted to hang out, but cool, maybe next weekend or whatever. Or like, oh, well, yeah, I hope you guys have fun. Or maybe even like, oh, like, is there like a third horse that I can rent or whatever? Can I hang out with you guys or whatever? Oh, no, that's cool, Rather than that, the response is, oh, okay, I get it. You guys probably don't want to hang out with me anyway. I guess I'm just too much of a downer for you guys to hang out with at all. Maybe next weekend, I guess. And there are people whose default mode of communication is always like this. And you can't, earlier I used the phrase, they undermine you. How do you respond to that? Because it's like, you're right, I do hate you. And it's like, fuck. Now you have to do this dual, like you have to go into emotional reassurance mode. And then you have to figure out if you want to budge on your physical plans or not. Because it's like, well, fuck, this guy just said that we hate him. I don't really hate him. No, I'm starting to, but I don't really hate him. But like, if we don't do anything with them, is that the narrative that? And then what are you going to argue with them on their? Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but people that do stuff like this, I'm going to be honest. I actually hate the guy in chat that said more than the person who's the manipulator. The guy in chat is like, it just seems like the other person is sad or confused. Fuck you. Okay, I hope you don't ever function as a sit-in for friends who are having disagreements because you're the worst type of enabling piece of shit. Okay, people that navigate conversation like that is such a underhanded way to do it. Oh god, it's so fucking annoying. Okay, sorry.
I've been making it look in a way I want it to look.
It's not out because of incompetence.
It's not out because of...
Do you think there's like a drunken master way to emotional fights? Like you're saying these lines of argument, your arguments are designed, but you think it can be unintentional and not malicious? I've said this before a lot in the past. I actually don't know. Like I've said this in regards to like, for instance, the way that like Lav and Mr. Girl operate in a lot of ways. I actually don't know how aware the other person is of their compulsive behaviors. I've always said that that's like one of my biggest fears. Actually, lack of self-awareness is a huge fear of mine in a lot of different things, especially when it comes to like community management or like political stuff. Like I always say like, oh God, what if there's like a point I'm totally wrong on and it takes me like 20 years to realize it? I'm like, oh, fuck, I might myself. I'm sure to some extent it's kind of like if you're genuinely worried about the thing, there's probably a small chance of the thing actually happening. Hopefully, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, oh God, those types of people.
Been perfecting. I've been making it look in a way I want it.
I think generally my personal feeling on it is that in general, I feel like most manipulative behavior like that is it's semi-intentional, but a lot of it is just learned. Like like it's like a baby crying. Like people see maladaptive behavior and they're very quick to ascribe like irrationality or craziness to a person when in reality it is the most rational and most logical behavior ever. People that do the threats a lot, people are like, why does this person always like threaten to kill themselves. Jesus, like this person is fucking crazy. But then it's like, what happens when they threaten to kill themselves? Everybody starts messaging them. A whole bunch of people want to hang out with them. People start giving them more attention. Sounds like that person's not crazy at all. Sounds like that person's actually hyper rational and they're doing exactly what they need to do, at least in the short term, to get some kind of emotional or whatever needs taken care of. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why I hate enablers so much, because if you enable bad behavior, then you're reinforcing that person's pathways, and they're going to keep doing the behavior because it works, right?
Because I've been perfecting it. I've been making it look in a way I want it.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
Ineptitude, incompetence, inability to make anything of value.
So how's your comic going? And why isn't
Great.
it out? Why isn't it out?
Because I've been...
I don't know what, like, this is cruel. I don't know why Dick is leaning into this super killer comic thing, because obviously this is going to be an actual pain point for Veto. I don't know why he decides to lean into this.
So how's your comic going? And why isn't
Great.
it out? Why isn't it out?
Because I've been perfecting it. I've been making it look in a way I want it to look.
It's not out because of incompetence.
It's not out because of, I don't know if incompetence is the right word. I won't go into all the reasons for delays, okay?
Oh, wait, did it stop streaming? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
So, Destiny, please watch a clip from the Mike Flood
Let's see.
Town Hall. Go to 4240. I'll post the link in chat. What is the Mike
Yeah, the reason your
Flood
comic's not out is because of
Town
incompetence.
Hall? Wait,
right?
what? Does Dick have a stake in Vito's comic or whatever, or is he just being an asshole with the comic? Well, so I think one thing, not to defend Dick's perspective here, because I think he's being a little bit cruel, is I think the comic has kind of become a big part of the show, or talking about it, or fights like that are involving it. I remember even when I was there for one of these episodes, they were talking about, I think, Veto fighting with another comic guy over comic stuff. I don't remember. I don't remember 100% what this is about, but...
Oh, you left? Oh, Veto left. Okay. Who wants to come in? Oh, he's back. All right. There, he's back.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, okay, you're back.
I think this is, I think
How'd
what's
you think
happening...
this was going to go? Honestly.
What do you mean? What do you
How
mean?
did you think this conversation was going to go, honestly?
Probably about like this. I don't
Yeah.
know. What do you... I don't think I expected anything more out of it. I think it's a valuable conversation.
This isn't for stream content, time to make stream content, but just for your own thoughts later, Destiny. Do you have a good thing about why you seem to have not criticized Dick's behavior? It's interesting. They both do some interesting stuff here, but you're focusing so hard on one side. Sure is a thing. In my opinion, toxic behavior will look bad at different parts of the relationship, such that in some ways it benefits one side and in other times it benefits the other side. This is why I never, ever, 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 ever give a fuck when people show videos of fights, because that's why I didn't side with Hillary Crowder against Steven Crowder when all that camera footage came out outside, because you don't know what the behavior is in the totality. Like if I were to show you, so I said like my first two relationships were physically abusive. If I were to show you clips of my exes attacking me, or like me calling the cops on them, then I can say like, oh my God, look at how abusive and toxic these people are, right? But that's just that's like the totality or the finality of all of our combined behavior before that. And there might be times where I'm exhibiting very toxic behavior, but it doesn't come out in the same way, and then you don't see that. But I didn't hint at this. I said this before. It might be that, so Veto is having his moment here, where I would say Veto is clearly being more toxic here than Dick is. But it could be that in the weeks leading up to this, Veto is trying to just reach out to Dick to say something simple, and he's not trying to do something dramatic or start anything. And Dick is being super dismissive, or is not engaging with anything Veto is saying. And Dick is kind of, I don't want to say winding him up, but basically pushing him inadvertently or not to this state. So yeah, but this is why I don't like recordings of fights, and then people go like, "Oh, look how toxic this person's." Like, yeah, I mean, it's hard to know without seeing the whole lead up and everything that's going on, because somebody can be pushed to a thing, and now one side looks really bad, and the other side looks a lot more like the victim, when in reality, like both people are playing into it.
Regardless,
Well, let's see.
do you not think this has any value whatsoever? I mean,
No, I don't think it's funny. No, I don't think it has any comedic value. No.
I think sometimes, well,
This is good radio, Daniel Adams says. Okay, Super Killer is the heartbound of comics. Vito, who did ads for years about a comic
Will you
here.
stop reading
Yeah,
you can read the
These are
super
super
chats
chats.
later.
Bender for 5. So when the last show imploded, we got the genius of Mad Cucks. Vito Cucks into it. Mike Hunt for 5. Maddox and Dick was brought up at the end of Sam Hyde's show. I know, I got to watch that on my show. Yeah, okay. Kronosh for 5,000. Without Veto, we would have another TDS.
Wait, hold on. Dick is not managing Vito's emotions for him, and he's being antagonistic. This is true, and it sounds like the reason for that antagonism is to get Vito to have an honest look at some of his issues, so I disagree with that. Dick's response here is emotional. Now, I think that Dick might have maybe the better argument here just because of how these relationship dynamics play out at this point. But if Dick was truly trying to get Veto to be aware of these things, then you're almost never on camera. It's never happening, right? But in the middle of a fight like this in front of other people, I don't think Dick's goal here is to bring Veto to some kind of awareness of his behavior. It's just to express his frustration with everything.
TDS is enough. Pineapple Man for 5. This episode is textbook ESTP versus INFP clashing. It's gay, something gay. Daniel Adams for 2. Why don't you have a girlfriend, Veto? Gelatinous Rube for 10. Veto, you think asking the same question over and over again is going to fix the problem? You need a social media manager, project manager, something. Stop looping. Antagonist Vision for 5. Ask Tony from Hack the Movies how he's so high energy lately, Veto. I can help you with that if you want. Just hit me up on Discord. All right. What else is there? You got anything else?
It's good radio. Look,
You can have the last word.
I miss you, and I'm always gonna miss you. You were a very important part of my life, and I have a deep fear that time is over.
Like, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just coming down really hard on one side. Like, these types of bids for attention, I think that in my mind, and maybe it's just because I'm usually on the other side of them, I feel like these are the most manipulative and toxic things that you can ever do, because you're almost like suiciding, and I feel like you either see it or you don't. There is a way that you can navigate a conversation where the other person is robbed of so much agency and is made to feel like such a villain or insane person, because now the other side has elevated things to such a point to where, like, fuck me, dude. Like, if I have no room to fight with or disagree. It's a lot harder to spot. It's harder, I think, to point out in like these male-male dynamics. It's a lot easier to point out in male-female dynamics, especially when the man is doing it, because you automatically have sympathy for women. And so oftentimes it's easier for the man to get something out of the woman it's just more, it's easier to see why this is like not as good. But Jesus.
Yeah.
And if that's how it has to be, it's tremendously sad. It's like losing a friend. It's like losing a brother.
Yeah.
It's losing someone I cared about. And how do I put this? I deeply respect you as a comedic talent, as a man, as a person, and I see the life you have. I see the family you make. I see the smiles you bring to this. Is getting gay. I'm being gay. I think you have value.
It's so awkward because I don't know, maybe this works in Vito's other relationships, or maybe it has worked with Dick in the past, but like Dick is clearly not responsible for this. But all of this is like a bid for attention. Like, I just need you to come and satisfy my my emotional pleas here. But I think that if you do it, it undermines the rest of the disagreement. I don't know. Ugh.
Gay. I'm being gay. I think you have value. Don't do the Titanic song. How do you put? Stop with the fucking It's such a cocksucker. It's deeply sad to me to think that I've lost. And I never felt like I was someone you would want to have as a friend. And I understood that. I think we have different ways of being. You're a boozer and a womanizer. I don't know. I'm a gay.
Does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying, like, there's a split. I'm a nerdy, fat loser. You're like Dr. Cool Guy, you know, whatever, living on top of a mansion and on top of a hill. All right? I get it. You know, the alpha and the omega, whatever this is. That Titanic song threw me. You f***ed it up, all right? I don't know how to talk over the Titanic song. Look.
Vito, you gotta go to therapy about your fucking dad, bro.
Shut the f*** up. It's nothing about my dad. Shut up.
Stop arguing with people online! Argue with people who don't pay us money!
If somebody's being a shithead to me, I might be a shithead back. Why is that so bad? All right? But look,
Do you see the disconnect here? I guess it, like, when I think of like, how do you figure out like which side is being worse? I guess I want the first thing is like, can both sides understand each other? Is somebody not understanding? And then the second idea is like, what steps are people taking to try to alleviate the issues? When somebody keeps restating incorrectly with the other person's issues over and over and over again, it makes me very not sympathetic towards that side, I guess.
Got it.
Although I wonder if Dick could state Veto's issues. I don't know. I don't know if maybe he does it early in the episode.
If it's really aggravating you, but when a guy says, "Hey Vito, you're a fat piece of shit," and I go, "Fuck you," like, is that okay?
Yeah.
Like that's like Veto. Do you see how Veto's testing? This is what I mean when I say he's not just upset. Do you understand like what the purpose of that question is? That's the dog hair question, right? You understand that's the dog hair question, right? It sounds like I don't even have the full backstory on this. So actually, as I fill in a lot of this, I'm filling in the blanks. So if I'm totally wrong, then maybe I'm missing something. But it sounds like what Dick was mad about was that Veto would get in these protracted fights online with people, that they're actually having an actual negative impact on Veto. And then it sounds like it's rolling over either to him responding to people on the show or trying to ban people who are like patrons or whatever. That's what it sounds like. But then Veto expresses this and like, oh, what? So you just don't want me to, I just can never disagree with anybody? I can never disagree with anybody online again? It's like, no, that's not what's being said, you know?
Fat piece of shit, and I go, "Fuck you," like, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I obviously don't get it 100%. I don't know what I'm allowed to do.
You can't
I'm
say,
figuring it out.
You can't say I'm gonna your girlfriend. You can't say there's
I
refunds
said that
now.
one
There's refunds
time,
now. There's no
and
refunds.
I immediately walked it back. Okay, let's be clear. When you do 200 episodes of a podcast, you might occasionally
Vito,
make
you
a
can't
joke.
look.
That
Listen
sucks.
to me.
Remember when I called a black guy the N-word 2 episodes ago?
That's
Sometimes
funny.
you fuck up. Sometimes
No, that
you
was
fuck
funny.
up.
Nah, that was funny.
Okay, well,
You said
sometimes
N-word.
it's funny, and sometimes it's not
You
funny.
can say whatever.
This is the I feel like I can make I should just make a checklist of this. This is like admitting to a lesser sin, or this is admitting like fault with something, like yesterday I know that you were out f***ing Becky because you didn't even call me at all. And then the boyfriend's like, okay, fine, I should call you more. I understand. When I'm out, I should call you to check in. It's like, no, the issue is that you went and f***ed Becky, not that you didn't call and check. It's like the admitting to a lesser fault, like, oh, I shouldn't have called that one guy the N-word. Oh, I shouldn't have said it. Right? That's obviously that's not Dick's. It's Dick. I'm sure Dick is a prolific N-word enjoyer, okay? I think. I don't actually know 100%. Maybe I shouldn't slander him that way. But
Whatever you want to black people. You can't say you're gonna rape a woman. Get the fuck out of here.
Sometimes you go a little. You try to make a joke and you fuck up. It's gonna happen.
You don't think you have like
done it.
you don't think you like try to fucking throw your weight around and on people that you lose arguments with?
Can you give
Like, you
me
don't think that you're like just crashing out over a super killer and telling people to go
I
themselves
really
and
don't
stuff?
think I really don't think I'm crashing out over Super Killer. I think all this like talk of Vito's crashing out is like nuts. I don't get it. What am I crashing out about? When people go, "Hey, this page and Super Killer sucks," and I go, "You just don't
had
get
a
it."
big fucking speech, like a retarded speech. That's crashing out.
But you interrupted with the fucking thing. Cause look, I genuinely.
watch the clip. It's so keynote. What? How long is the clip?
Okay.
What?
Can you give me examples of why I'm being abusive?
Sure. I broke them down into 6 different categories. So the first category is you constantly alluding to the idea that you're only
Oh, because I wrote these down. Listen, dude. I know how the abuser mind works. Okay, I can navigate it. I can swim in it like swimming like a fish in the ocean. Okay.
Being abusive.
Sure. I broke them down into 6 different categories. So the first category is you constantly alluding to the idea that you're only using mild insults. That wasn't a mild insult. Saying that somebody else referred to as a hoe on my stream is somebody that I found in a dumpster. That's not a mild insult. That especially coming from another woman. That's like
I didn't say she was a hoe.
You didn't, but you responded to a message. I don't care if you apologize. We're way past apology.
It wasn't intentional.
No, hold on. Apologies don't work once you've been called out and called like this. It doesn't matter.
Ooh, do you hear that? She did the intentional thing. It wasn't intentional. Remember Veto earlier, right? He's like, bro, why are you so mad? I'm not like trying to be mean to you. I'm not trying to be upsetting to you, right? You should be looking at my positive intentions. Right?
I don't care. Okay, she might. I don't know if she cares. I don't care if she cares actually. But yeah, so that was the first bucket.
Apologize for an intent that wasn't even meant to
Wait,
finish.
you can apologize.
To apologize for an intent that wasn't even there. Your actions are what impacts people at the end of the day, not necessarily the intention, right? If you were to run your cart into somebody at the grocery store on accident, you don't say you're sorry because you intended to hurt them. You say you're sorry because you hurt them, even if it was unintentional.
To her,
shut up.
no, true. You can apologize if you want. Well, you don't have to. I don't care. I just don't give apologies. I'm not worried about it because right now you only.
In fact, it really only makes sense to apologize if it was unintentional. Why would you ever apologize for intentionally insulting somebody? That doesn't even make sense now that I think about it. What a pointless objection to raise. What?
Apologizing because you finally got like cornered on it, right? But until up to this point, really,
I
okay.
will not apologize for calling her a hoe.
So
I never did it.
Okay, so if I go back and I listen to the 3-hour talk that you had with Jessica, are you apologetic at any point in that, or is it just you going in for hours and hours?
I said positive things too.
I didn't ask if you said. Do you know? Do you say you just did it right there?
I felt like
I asked you, okay? I was like, did you rape John? And you're like, I bought John dinner. That's what you just did. Do you acknowledge you just did that?
Can you repeat what the question was?
I asked
And I'll
you
see
that
what
in
the issue
Jisticle's
is.
3-4 hour stream last night, at any point, were you apologetic?
No, because I didn't think there was
Thank
anything
you.
to apologize
Okay,
for.
of course, that's fine. So now I definitely don't have you apologize. Now, why would I do it? Again, she might. I don't. Okay, so that was punishment. Okay, so the first thing is, yeah, so you saying over and over again that, well, I don't have to tell you don't want to. You asked me if you want to.
No, because the thing is, I just said I apologize because other people in the community inferred that I was calling her a whore, and obviously she's got a bunch of messages saying, "Oh, Kelly's calling her a whore."
Kelly, I understand what you're
apologise for
saying.
the behaviour
Kelly,
of other people.
Kelly.
I said it
Yep.
as to be nice,
Okay.
but apparently that makes me bad.
Kelly,
now.
you just did it again.
I just apologize to be nice.
And Kelly, yeah, you just did it again, Kelly. You just said that the reason why you're apologizing is because people are calling her a whore, right?
Yes,
There's
they
two.
were.
There's two.
Because of something
There's
I said
two.
that was like badly put together.
There's
I get
two
it.
huge problems with this, okay? The first one is part of your initial justification for saying she was a dumpster diver is because you told me you were aware that people in chat were saying crazy things about her. So you already knew people were saying things like this about her. And then number two, you know that people were saying things all about this in the subreddit last
I
night.
wasn't
So
aware
when
of all
those
of
two
this
things.
stuff before. No, that's
Oh,
not
okay. I'm sorry.
accurate.
I must have misheard you then. I'll take the L on that. I thought earlier you said, why would it matter if I say this in Discord because people in chat were saying crazier things? I thought I heard you say that, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah, but
Maybe
I didn't say I knew all of the stuff that they were saying that was crazy was before I was on the stream.
Oh, so you knew they were saying crazy things, but you didn't know what any of
Do
the.
you see the days of the week? Do you see the days that, in my opinion, I'm nuking Kelly saying anything nice because she's fighting with Justical. In my opinion, Kelly is the most toxic person I think that I've ever. When I say toxic, I don't mean she does like the worst things necessarily, but she deploys every single toxic manipulator thing in a conversation more consistently and to more people than I've ever seen anybody in my entire life. I actually it was so funny. I got so many emails. I think I got 4 or 5 different emails after the stream from people who are like, oh my God, like I appreciate that conversation so much. My mom does this exactly, or I have a partner that used to do this, or we have a friend, our friend group that used to do this. It's very, like if you're not used to dealing with these people in like a more, I'll say intellectual, but like where you're like sitting down and you're analyzing the words rather than just getting like caught up in a fight. Like it is so mindful. You don't understand how mindful you are in a conversation with somebody like this. You can always make every single thing your fault. Everything is your fault. And I think one of the most psychologically debilitating things is when you are locked in a relationship with somebody and you always feel bad, but somehow, and you don't know why, but somehow you've been robbed of your ability to ever complain about anything, because no matter what it is, when you bring it up, somehow it's always your fault. And it is such a disempowered position to be in. And you feel so fucked always to where you're like, I can't, for some reason, this person always makes me feel horrible. But I know that if I complain about anything, somehow it's always going to be my fault. I don't know how to help you identify, but if I would say that if you have that feeling around somebody, you should always ditch that person and just remove them from your life. Don't try to win arguments with them. Don't try to change them. Don't try to navigate it in a healthier way. I'd say for like 99% of people, it's just not worth it unless you enjoy it, I guess. Yeah, it's just not worth it.
that things were, but you knew they must.
Oh, actually, Ayla had a interesting article that she wrote on her Substack on this. Oh, she calls it frame control, I guess, if you want to have a epic rationalist way of viewing it. But this article actually talks about this, I think, in a pretty good way. It's just a way, like, people somehow they just gain control of every part of a conversation, and no matter what you say, it's always going to get railroaded back to you're the one at fault. And yeah, in my opinion, you just shouldn't engage with these people unless you are doing it in a manner that you think is like very I think it's entertaining, but at the end of the day, they're not mind me. But if I was getting mind fucked, I would just eject this person. I'm like, okay, I can't do this.
Must have been worse than the thing that you typed in Discord.
Until I was on stream. Like,
So
I
then
didn't
how
know
did you-
when I was making a comment initially.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know
Maybe
what,
that is the
like,
timeline. Okay, so maybe
like time frames.
Okay, maybe I am. Okay, but then the second thing is, you know that people last night were calling her a whore, but you didn't apologize then. The only time you apologize when you get confronted right now. That's why the apology doesn't matter.
Because I shouldn't have to apologize for the things.
Then wait.
Do you see all the different positions, right? Well, I didn't want to apologize because I didn't do anything bad. Well, then I apologized because other people were saying, okay, well, I didn't actually apologize. Well, okay, now I apologize now. Okay, well, I shouldn't have had to apologize at all. And it's like, what are we saying here, right? It's insane.
Then why don't you just apologize at all? Don't. Say, I disagree.
Because I felt like I had to, but I guess that was the mistake. I don't fucking know at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're calling me an abuser, which makes me feel like I should have to say something.
Okay, another abusive tactic. You call me an abuser, so I just apologize for everything, and now it's good. But anyway, yeah.
So I'm calling out the bid for right? Oh, you call me an abuser, right? These don't work on me because I don't give a fuck about this. I don't do bids for attention.
the first category was.
You're
what?
it's just so
Wait,
amazing that
wait,
you're
wait.
allergic to
I'm trying to-
accountability.
wait,
Oh my god.
Sorry, go
I don't
ahead.
want to talk to someone who doesn't know what moving the goalposts is obtuse.
You did move the goalpost, and you are being obtuse.
No,
That-
she did not give good examples for those.
She was giving examples, actually. I didn't counter time, but she tried to reset the conversation like 8 times, and you kept pivoting to like another comment that was completely and totally unrelated. Yes.
No. anything that she was saying was not relevant to what I was saying at the time.
No, I agree with you. Nothing she was saying was relevant because you kept trying to change the topic. Yes, that's the whole point of changing the topic, is to say the subject relevant.
Okay. Give me an example of that. Where have I changed the topics?
When you would constantly pivot, sure, we can go into abuser tactic number 2, was comparing yourself to criticism from the community when her issue was never levied at general criticism, but specifically at you because you were a woman in the community. But you would keep going back. I wrote 4 quotes. You said, people argue here all the time. This isn't about an argument, though. Why would you say that? You said, do you know where you are? This place is insults 24/7. This wasn't about just random insults, though. It was a specific one from you. And then you said, if you can't take me giving you the most mild insults, so downplaying the insults, how are you going to manage with the rest of them? Well, she, again, wasn't complaining about the entire community. She was complaining about you specifically. And she recentered on this several times. And then the last one I wrote down was, you said, if they tell you that you're wrong, they'll tell you to kill yourself. And she even said that that kill yourself comment wouldn't have been that bad. It was the appearance-related ones that were coming from you, and then the implication of the co-signing for being a whore.
Okay, firstly, some of those things are just based on my genuine beliefs. I felt that genuinely those comments were pretty fucking mild as insults because I get worse on a daily basis.
Can you give an
That's on
example of
me.
the worst one?
No, wait, that doesn't matter. Hold on, let me finish the
Don't ask me, bro. I'm the worst person to ask. You could just, like, somebody got banned for saying unhinged shit yesterday, and I saw that as well. But, like, okay, we'll just gloss over that one. Yes, I get unhinged comments. Maybe that has flavored what I think is, like, actually an insult. That's possible. Maybe my perspective is somewhat warped. Although, I'll be honest,
Do you see she just did a minor apologize for the lesser sin, or a minor give there, right? Like, okay, maybe my perspective is warped because I've been abused so much, right? The central point being that in any community that is dominated by one majority class, a minority class shitting on another minority class is always going to feel very weird. Kelly is very aware of that. Any minority class in a majority class area is always going to be aware of that. If you are in a friend group with 100 white people and there are 2 black people and another black person comes in and the 2 black people shit on the black guy for black related stuff, that is very, very, very weird. Some people would call it Uncle Tommy or coonish behavior or whatever. Like, or if you have like a queen situation where you've got like a group with like 95% men and there are, 3 women queens in there and then another woman comes in and then you've got the people call it pick me or whatever from the woman's side. They start the woman for like sexually related things or sexist, like gender related things. It's very, 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 very weird. It feels a very particular type of way. These comments are like very unique. They're not just like a general insult. It's not just like telling someone to kill themselves. It's a very unique type of thing. It's hard to understand the dynamic as much, I think, if you're not a minority class, but it's just, trust me when I say that it's a very particular type of way of attacking somebody. And it's not good. It's highly alienating. It's very, 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 very bad. Yeah. Okay, sorry. We don't have to jump in all that again. Just kidding. Kelly's our queen. We love her, okay?
Suddenly, look, this is why this is nuts. This is nuts.
Bro, you can't be calling people's wives for any reason.
Understood.
Okay. You can't
Message
be canceling
received.
live shows. You can't be canceling live shows.
I'm not canceling live shows. That's not happening. But a message received, regardless. I don't know why we keep going back to, again, 2 seconds. I called Patrick Melton and I said, I'm being stupid. You're right. Sometimes I'm going to be stupid. Hey, here's what I'm going to ask for.
No. You can't. Sometimes I'm going to be stupid.
No, I think you gotta. Okay, bro. I hate to tell you this. We do the show. Part of the show is Veto doesn't have a curtain on his fucking bathroom. Veto molested a cat with a Q-tip. I'm not 100% there. Okay?
What are you talking about?
I'm a little fucking. Something up here is not 100% the way the rest of the world lives their life.
Yeah.
So. Can you understand that when I do things, it's not out of malice and spite? And
back to the intention thing. This is such an incorrect well, no, it's not actually incorrect. That's not fair. I think that it's important to take into account other people's intentions, especially like interpersonal, like in relationships, it's important. However, I think it's also vitally important to take into account how your things are received, right? So to give an example on both sides of this, let's say that it's a birthday for your partner, and let's say that you buy them roses for their birthday, and then they get the roses, and then they start crying. And you're like, well, what's going on? You're like, oh, my mom had a deathly allergy to roses, and she got some and they killed her. So this reminds me of my mom's death, right? I don't think it would be fair to hold your partner accountable for getting roses if he didn't know that, right? Or she didn't know that. It's like, okay, well, how were they? Come on, how are they supposed to know that? It's not fair to say like even though your intentions were good, the action was so bad, right? But there are other times where you might intend something a certain way, and at some point you've been made aware that your partner just doesn't appreciate it. They don't like it. I'm trying to think of, it could be like a certain comment, maybe even a compliment, maybe a way of, all my stuff is so relationship focused. I'm trying to think of like another interpersonal, whatever, I don't care. Extrapolate to your own other platonic friendships. But like maybe there's a guy or a girl and they really like like touching their partner in a certain way, maybe like spanking their booty or grabbing their boob or rubbing their neck or something. But the other person just doesn't appreciate that contact for whatever reason. If you continue to do the behavior over and over again, and the person is like, "Hey, I just don't enjoy like being touched this way," and you go back to this intention thing, we're like, "Well, I'm not trying to upset you. That doesn't matter. The fact that you're substituting your intention here for the way that it's received from the other person is, in my opinion, I think that's a very, very, very not good. It shows a severe lack of awareness of the other person's comfort. I think it's a very red flaggy type behavior. I say red flaggy, orange flaggy. I don't know.
Oh, can you understand that when I do things, it's not out of malice and spite and trying to hurt you? I think that's where the disconnect is.
You're okay. Listen, you can't have a broken brain and say that you understand what I'm thinking. You don't even understand what you are thinking. Don't tell me it's not out to hurt me. It's just a pain in the ass. It's just not worth dealing with.
When I go, oh my God, I haven't been able to reach Dick for a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll call the person who lives with him.
No, never do that. Never do that.
Well, you let me make my point. The point is that I'm not doing it. You seem to think it's like Vito's trying to hurt me. Vito's a bad guy.
See, that's what I mean. You have a broken brain. You can't tell me, a healthy brain, what I'm...
Oh, actually, wait. Maybe Vito does have Dick. Oh, I don't know how much of this I listened to. Maybe I didn't listen all the way through this. Maybe Dick actually does understand Vito more than I...
Trying to hurt me. Vito's a bad guy.
See, that's what I mean. You have a broken brain. You can't tell me, a healthy brain, what I'm thinking. This is your problem.
Okay.
This is your problem. It's always just like, this is what's happening, but it's not. That's not what happened. That's not what's happening.
I assumed you would be home. I couldn't reach you.
Yeah, so then that's too bad. Then don't reach me.
Well, we were about to do a real big live show, and I was trying to figure out what was going on with the show.
What was going on is you losing an argument with Riley, and you trying to throw your weight around.
What argument? I lost. I don't know what argument I lost, but I'll accept it.
Getting blown out. That was the argument you lost.
I'm blown out. I'm blown out. I'm eternally owned.
Yeah, you are.
Stop me.
You got blown out.
This might be toxic. If it's for people I don't give a fuck about, just like agreeing with the bid for attention, in my opinion, is kind of funny, right? Like, oh, so you guys are going horseback riding. I guess you just never want to hang out with me, huh? You're like, yep, that's right. We don't ever want to hang out with you again. I'm glad you understand. Thank you. Glad we had this conversation. It must not be, he must not understand it. Or Veto, it has to be not unintentional. Not subconscious. It's like automatic, I guess. Because he keeps doing these things where he's like, oh, okay, I'm eternally blown out, I guess, right? These are like subtle bid for attention. Like, I'm eternally blown out. Like, tell me I'm not eternally blown out. That's what you're saying, right? Yeah.
Fucking blown out.
I understand that you believe I got blown out.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Blown out.
I think you think I'm a bad guy, and that's what I'm worried about.
I just think you're given to compulsions. I mean, I just think you have no willpower.
Oh, what?
Is that wrong? You human paraquat.
I think we all have compulsions. Okay,
now it's a wee problem. Now
you like to drink.
Wee problem.
You like to drink. I like to eat.
Yeah. Oh, he froze. He's fucking stumped. Yeah, you need a therapist, dude. You need a therapist.
I'm not getting a therapist.
Well, you need one.
Well,
I mean, I don't give a shit, but you need one.
I don't need one. I know what's wrong with me. And
what is?
A lot of things.
What's the top three?
A deep dissatisfaction with the state of the world.
What's the state of the world? What do you mean?
I am really curious now if Vito can perceive it, his own behavior here. I'm actually super curious. At Destiny, I have a friend who gets like super sad and like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, whatever. And I just go, all right, anyway, and just continue hanging with them and the others. Yeah, the saddest thing in my opinion about people like this, and I think it actually does apply really cleanly to Veto here. The saddest thing about people like this is I don't know why they learn these like maladaptive behaviors, because if they could just ditch that, they're actually like cool people. It's one of the saddest things is like, you're funny, you're cool, like people generally like hang out with you. Why do you act like this? I used to comment on this where there were people that sometimes Melina would hang out with, and then like later on, like in text or whatever, or in DMs, they would just like completely blow it. And I'm just like, what? This guy was like chill. She said they had fun hanging out or whatever. And they just get like unhinged. It's like, why are you doing this? You don't have to behave like this. I don't understand where this insecurity is coming from. And I feel like Vito's like that. I read all the time I've spent with Veto. He seems pretty funny. He seems like a cool dude. Dick must have thought it at one point in time, right? They started a show together, and it's like, why these behaviors?
It's just a mess, man. I'm not gonna get into
world?
it.
It's great. We're getting rid of all the Mexicans. It's beautiful.
I really don't think getting rid of all the Mexicans is the solution to
it's
our
gonna
problems.
cure a lot of problems. Getting rid of the Mexicans.
Look, I feel like when we talk to each other,
Don't people pick up these behaviors because they work, though? If they were better off without those behaviors, would they not pick them up? Well, yeah, I mean, that's why they're called maladaptive. But the thing I don't understand is, like, I could understand, like, a total loser acting like this because it's the only way that people will ever pay attention to them. But then sometimes you see, like, pretty cool people and they act like, it's like, why do you do this? You don't have to do this, you know? You don't need to do this. And I feel like Veto, unless maybe there are some things that are annoying as once you know them well enough, maybe. I don't know.
it's not that bad. And I feel like the most dangerous thing is when here's the thing. You hate me online. I get it. Everybody does. Veto on Twitter, Veto on Reddit, Veto on Discord. All you see is typing words, snarky asshole. I'm very bad at typing in a way that doesn't make me come across like a complete jackass.
Like these weird, like this isn't even admitting to a lesser sin. This is just like I don't think anybody's genuinely criticizing him for this in particular, you know?
But you're doing it aggressively. What do you mean come across? Like you antagonize people directly all the time.
I'm just very cold the way I type. I mean, like, yeah, it's like maybe standoffish sometimes and cocky, but like...
No. It's not standoffish and cocky. It's like antagonizing and sarcastic.
But it's usually antagonizing someone who's antagonizing me. All day long, I get people going, hey, you fat
you're
piece of
famous,
shit.
though, retard. Like, that's their right.
So, okay, and I can go, fuck you. Like, I do that all the time. Half the time, you like it. You used to like it when I was doing it to the right people, when I told other people to go, so I was going,
yes.
good.
To the right people, it's great. To people who are not paying us, it's absolutely wonderful.
Okay, if a guy pays me money, he doesn't get that's not a ticket to come on my Twitter and go, "Hey, fat, so f you, whatever." I might go, "Yeah."
Do you see he just did it again? Do you see that, right? Like you used to fight with some people and it was kind of funny or whatever, but now you're starting to like fight with fans and shit, and it's like funny or something. It's like, okay, so as long as somebody subs to us, that means that they can say the worst possible thing. If somebody subscribes to our Patreon, they can rate me. Is that what you're saying? It's like, not really. Like this. Oh my God, it's such a good. It's like a zoom in and zoom out whenever you need to. Like that's like the strategy. There needs to be a name for this. Mental bobbing or something. I don't know.
I do.
No, you sit in Discords arguing with.
Do you agree with his point though? If you're asking that, then you're below the level needed to navigate these types of conversations, and you will forever be mindful by these types of people. If you're engaging one-to-one with just the words that are being said, you're hopelessly out to sea at this.
Yeah, I do.
No, you sit in Discords arguing with them all day. You sit in group chats arguing.
Everyone is. They're all blocked.
Fight with.
They're all blocked.
Okay.
Discord communities, by the way, and I fully stand by this. I said it. I think I said it in the past. I believe it even more now. Discord communities are the new, like Tumblr communities or Guy Online community or whatever. I think if you are spending a lot of time inside Discords I think Discord is like the new mentally ill safe haven for people. I think it's not good.
These fucking retards that you
blocked.
fight with.
They're all blocked.
Okay.
I'm not fighting with anybody in Discord. You didn't tell me to block them for a year. I don't know.
I did.
Okay, I didn't realize that me arguing with people in the Discord was gonna get to the point where it's like
that's why you canceled Hackamania, because of your fucking online arguments.
That's not why I canceled Hackamania.
Yes, it is.
And
because it led to
Hackamania.
Riley goofing on you, and then you said, "I'm done. I'm not doing Hackamania."
I know that's how you interpret it.
Yeah, so you better learn. You better incorporate that into history, because that's what it's going to be.
I have incorporated what you believe happened. And I understand that is your interpretation of things.
Right.
I accept that's your interpretation of things.
And that's the reality.
It is your reality.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
That is what happened to.
That's how it happened to everybody.
As far as you can tell.
Yeah, see, I mean, this is what I mean. It's just like this constant bullshit snark fest.
It's not constant bullshit. I just don't think. I think I have a different series of events in my head, and I don't want to relitigate the whole
The guy with the
thing.
broken brain has the correct series of events in his head. Okay.
I think I was more intimately connected to what was going on and all the different things that have happened.
Yeah, stuff was going on. You arguing with Riley.
Well, I'm not arguing with
And then it was
Riley
Schizo
anymore.
Sean. Oh, somebody else.
I'm not arguing with I was not arguing with Schizo Sean. That never happened. There was no argument there at all. So that's a completely new thing. Hi, Scraps. How you doing? There was no argument.
Why don't you show up with some energy? Show up with energy.
Are they having a fallout? What's going on? I mean, it feels like it. I think so. I don't know how much longer the show's going to last for.
That's
But
it. You know? For the fans.
Okay.
Show up with some energy.
Hold on. How about get the look off your face? What is this shit?
Well, I mean, it's some kind of scam that you're about to. I can hear the sales pitch coming.
Oh, yeah, true. I think Dick does understand. He either has thought about it or he just intuitively has dealt with enough people. Like Vito's about to say some insincere shit of like, okay, how about I will never tweet again and fine or something. It's going to be something that's like missing the point of what's being said, right?
Hold on.
1 sec.
Get the look off your face. What is this shit?
Well, I mean, it's some kind of scam that you're about to. I can hear the sales pitch coming.
Yeah, it is a sales pitch. Can I do a sales pitch?
Sure, go for it.
All right. Hi, my name is Veto Gesualdi. I've got a very exciting product to sell you, sir. Can I have a minute of your time?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Can I come into your home? You got a lovely home here.
No, get out of here.
Fantastic. Well, I'll just stay here at the door. Here's the product I got.
Thank you, Vito, for not yourself. Koof says
Shut
for
the
2.
fuck
Super
up. Stop reading
Velas
the super
for 10.
chats. Let me
I'm
finish
watching
my
Mom
bit.
and Dad
I'm
break up
doing a
live.
bit.
Koof
Let me
for
finish
2.
the bit.
Prestige. Mr. Tattoo Charlie for 2. You complete me, Dick. MK Minimal for 5. I don't know what you guys are on about. I'm having a blast. Yeah, Caro for 14 for 10. And just like that, the show is hilarious again. Thanks for the Titanic bit. Citizen Johnny Rico for 2. Omega. I heard that too. Bender for 5. Dick was totally gay for Vito. He even picked up his parcels. Just stop crashing out, Vito. Jesus Bands for 5. Butterball, he was never your friend. You were content. You also need to separate business and personal life. Justin Rolland for 2. To the Please Be Patient, I Have Autism, Have Fun. Jacob W. Gamer for 2. Vito, I started going to therapy because I realized I relate to you too much. Wow, I bet that's
Have
true.
fun at
Giga Warp-
therapy, man. I'm too smart for it. This is a real problem. I already know what they're gonna say.
Giga Warp
Too
for
smart.
5.
I'm
Vito,
too
don't
smart
use
for
Dick as
therapy
a
to work.
therapist. MK Minimal for 2. Don't
I'm
get
not
blown out.
using-
Get blown in. Boof time, Vito. Autumn for 2. I pay for drama, not therapy. This is boring. Shoebox Kingdom for 5. Vito, you're great and we love you, but this whole episode is pure secondhand embarrassment for you. Please stop
I don't
crashing
care.
out so hard.
I don't care. This
You
is not
should-
crashing out. Will you guys stop saying crashing
You're
out?
crashing out.
Just because you learned the term crashing out. Every 2 seconds I get, oh, he's crashing out. He's crashing out. Oh, it's crashing
You know,
out.
how many times did you say that you were the talent in the last year? How many times have you intimated?
Not nearly enough. Hold on. Wait, do you think when I say that, do you think I'm saying you're not the talent?
No.
What do you think I mean?
How many
when I'm
times have you
saying
said
I'm the
it?
talent?
How many times
What do
have you said it?
I have no idea. What do you think
Could
that
you count?
means? What do you think that means?
How many times have you said in
Can you be too fit for medicine to work? What?
under what circumstances have you said?
Three times, I believe, maybe?
Oh, you're way. I think you've said it. I think you've said it way more times than that.
I don't think, I'm sure somebody can make a supercut.
How many times have you said that? I could probably go in Discord and search your name today.
3.
Yeah.
I just said 3. I gave you an estimate.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think you say that shit is a joke, and eventually it becomes cope, and you start to believe it. You start acting.
Oh,
like
I'm
it.
not saying it as a joke.
And I think you're saying that is a joke, but I think one
No,
of
I'm
these days
not
you're gonna
joking. What do you think it means when I say I'm the talent? Why is it negative to you? You realize you're also the talent, right? We're the talent.
No, we are nothing. I am not the talent, nor would I ever.
That's just a show business term for the comedian, the performer. That's the talent.
You're not in show business, dude. This is not show business.
This is literally show business.
This is not
100%.
show business, bro. This is losers with a microphone.
This
is not show
entertainment,
business.
It's comedy. Okay,
this is not
you don't-
entertainment, Vito.
I think
this
it
is
is.
losers with a microphone scraping for cash, the bottom of the barrel, begging for money, busking. That's what this
We
is.
are in the top 50 super chatty shows on YouTube. We have a top 200 podcasts on Patreon. This is as much. Here's a. I'm not gonna get too into it.
I'm gonna crash out if you don't watch this clip of you and Dick.
It all plays into the larger.
But does it
shit that
really?
he's
I
done.
mean, we make all kinds of crazy jokes on this show. Does it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But
You're Delulu, bro. Delulu.
there's very few guys who are as blessed as we are. I don't know why you think of this.
Oh, Vito's in chat. Chill. Vito, I'm gonna resolve your guys' problems. Okay. I'm gonna come down there. We're gonna do a live episode with all 3 of us. Okay. You guys are gonna be the best of friends again. All right.
This is small
Also, don't watch the last hour of my stream.
potatoes. To me, this is huge.
Well, I said what I had to say.
Okay,
You got
let me
anything
do
else?
my pitch. Yeah,
Okay,
hold
go
on. I
for
was
it.
doing
Go
a
for
whole bit. Here's my pitch. We had a great show. It's called The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And it's had its ups, it's had its downs. But here's my pitch to you. I want to recommit to this show for a period of time. We can figure out what that period of time is. We do the best show we can do. We go balls to the wall, high energy, bits, maybe a guest here or there, whatever.
I'm not doing guests. No, I'm not doing guests.
Okay, I got you. Don't get hung up on the guests. We don't got to do it now because let's be clear. You're a new dad. We put it off, whatever. I think we got something good. I think we had something great. I think it went off the rails. I want to do what I can to get it back on the rails. I'm not going to therapy. That's not part of it. But I will not fight. That being said, if you see me do something and you go, hey, Vito, that constitutes fighting, don't I'll try.
I might regret this, but is there a Kick Chat specific ban appeal? I noticed I am banned in Kick Chat, but I'm not sure what I did. Okay, there's a weird thing in Kick Chat where I have to use the pop out, and if I use the normal kick.com/destiny/chat, I only see like 1/10 of the messages. I have no idea why. If any Kick mod or anybody in my chat knows what's causing that, then you can help. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know why that happens. Somebody said Destiny Special is rehabilitating psychological abusers. So, like I said before, I don't think that Veto is like intentionally trying to be an abusive, horrible person or something. I just think these are like a bunch of maladaptive behaviors he's picked up. Like, I don't think he's on the level of like Kelly or something, you know?
I'm my best. I don't 100. I'm trying my best.
Who are you talking to?
It's too late, bro. Veto, it's not too late. Nothing is too late. Wait, did you guys kill your show or?
You.
I'm not saying you're doing some shit online. I don't give a shit.
I think we have.
What are you talking about?
Okay, look. Is this the closing of a book or the start of a new chapter?
Bro, you need therapy. Like,
I don't need therapy.
You are so needy. You are so needy. I mean, it's like you need some kind of a win, something. You say, I got that. I can take it home with me.
Bro, I don't need a win. I just want to have some very simple conversation about the show.
No, I'm not having a conversation with you about it. It's a waste of time.
It's not.
Actually, you know what? I'm starting in an hour with Dan. You know what, Veto? If you want to message me on Discord, we can chat about it for like 3 minutes if you want. I'm curious to pick your brain.
A waste of time. We have a big show. We should be like coordinated.
I don't know why you're trying to talk me out of it. Like, why don't you go outside and talk a rock into moving? Dude, look at me. Look at my head. There is zero chance you're going to affect what's in my head at all.
Well,
I don't give a fuck about anything you're saying. You have no idea what's in my head. You don't even know what's in your head.
I really don't.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. What are you talking about?
So,
you know where I've been, Lou?
So say to me, Veto, whatever we're doing, we're just on a flat road and we'll see what happens. Because that's what it's.
Whatever we're doing on a flat road and we'll see what happens.
Okay, I will treat it like a flat road. I'll come in, I'll hit my mark, I'll bring some energy.
No, you have to bring energy, though. You have to bring energy. Like, seriously.
I'm going to really try my best.
Nah, you got to really.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, part of what gets me energized. You want to know what gets me energized?
I don't give a shit. Calories? I mean, coming up with ideas? What do you mean?
I'm
buying stuff, and then making money on it at some point in the future.
When I have energy, when I'm putting on the best show ever, it's because I'm excited about the show.
Who cares? Be excited anyway. It's a job. No one gives a fuck about your mental state. Show up and act like it. Get your life together. Get your act together.
Okay.
You're gonna make money, not to have your ego stroked. Grow up.
It's not about having my ego stroked. I just don't know why we can't have fun and have an exciting show.
I'm having a great time. I don't know why you're not having fun.
Because I don't know what's going on, man. All right. Well,
you need to go to therapy, bro.
I'm not going to therapy. Stop saying that.
You need to go to therapy.
Why do I got to go to therapy?
Because your brain's all fucked up.
What is up about my brain?
I don't know. You don't know what's coming or going. You got way too much invested in like a comedy show and a podcast. It's all the things you're saying are all fucked up.
Does Dick make money besides from this? Like, does he have other podcasts or other businesses or things?
So I mean, I guess that's where the disconnect is that I look at this thing and I go, this is a big, exciting thing.
Right.
And you don't, right?
No. Now you're just making this is like why you need therapy, because to understand things, you have to like pervert it and
The Dick Show. Oh, this isn't The Dick Show. Is The Dick Show just him? It's a weekly science and rage-based podcast. Okay.